Alright, well, g'day ladies and gentlemen, Legends of the Highest Grab, welcome back to the World Adventure here in Microsoft Flight Simulator on the Just Some Aussie Gamer channel. I'm your host, Bryce, or Bryce L, as some of you may know me as, or simply Just Some Aussie Gamer. So this evening we're going to be heading from Pensacola over to Baton Rouge in not New Orleans, should I say, in Louisiana rather. It's near New Orleans. It's near. It's not in New Orleans. Make that very fucking clear before people go, "What are you saying, boy?" Yeah, that's basically we were going to go all the way to Galveston originally. That was the original plan. Last week when I tried to stream and the sim decided, "You're kidding, right? You don't get to stream." That was reduced back because our good friend Big Jacko's Gaming is live on He is live on Sky Blue Radio in just under 3 hours time, and I didn't want to encroach on that because, let's be honest, I want to listen to the man have an interview on Sky Blue Radio. Who doesn't? I mean, he's a funny man. Yeah, where was I going with that? I'm not quite sure, but I was going somewhere. Possibly down a cliff to my death. But anyway, you know, what else? That was slightly of a morbid turn there. Anyway. Right, so a few things that I need to address to begin with. First thing is something I already may have addressed in the Discord. In fact, I know I addressed it in the Discord because I literally finished typing it out 5 minutes ago. And that is the fact that I'm going to be reducing my Patreon to one tier. It's going to be $3 or $4 Australian dollars a month. It's literally going to be a case of those who are members of the Patreon are going to get shouted out and thanked and all that. But the fact of the matter is, I can't at this point provide enough time or content to make the Patreon tiers that are above the basic tier worthwhile in any way, shape or form. And literally these people are paying, you know, $7 Australian dollars a month for nothing, which I don't view as fair, and therefore it's a decision that needs to be made. The second one I realised just recently is that for some reason my Streamlabs Prime has stopped, which means I'm not currently streaming on Facebook or Twitch, which is news to me about 10 minutes ago. So if you do usually watch me over on Facebook or Twitch and you're currently sitting here on YouTube going, "What the fuck, bro, where are you?" That will explain that for you. I have no idea why the payments have stopped. I haven't changed my card details or anything, and there's definitely money in the account, so it's news to me. But anyway, I think that's basically every piece of housekeeping that needed to be completed. So now I need to just sort of say a massive shout out. But first, Dino wanted to say hello, so I apologise for that. So massive shout out to Drew DeMarinis, Big Jacko's Gaming, Calling Pigeon, Josh Manchester, Garwin Grimm, and my newest Patreon, Chris Konicki, which I'm assuming is probably Big Chris. If it isn't, I'm sorry. I don't actually, none of your information seems to match up to any of the YouTube related stuff. So if whoever you are, thank you. But yeah, shout out to those 6 legendary people. All of you are going to have significantly smaller bills come next month for the Patreon. Now, my mouse. So my mouse is being a real prick today. I don't know why. It's just veering off in all sorts of directions. So if things take me 500 years to do during today's stream, you're gonna know why. Because I can't get the damn thing to go between the screens properly for some reason. That's a new problem that started recently. Right, so hang on. Right, there we go. That worked now. Let's scroll to the top. No, that doesn't. Okay, that doesn't have everyone. That's so frustrating how the Streamlabs chatbot doesn't include everyone's messages. It only picks and chooses when you're first loading it up what it wants to from the previous messages that were in the YouTube chat. If they're older than a certain amount, it won't pop up, you know, woof woof. It won't pop up in the Streamlabs chatbot for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, I've scrolled to the top. So, and then it's decided that it doesn't want me to scroll all the way to the top. And now I've completely lost the first few comments on YouTube as well. So go figure. It's going really well so far. What are we? 12 minutes in, and I've made about as much progress as... I don't know. I don't have a euphemism to explain the rest of that sentence. So you guys can all come to a conclusion in your own brain on that one. So Zach's Gaming Lad says it's almost time. It is almost time for a stream, if you could call it that. I don't know. Chris, Mr. Cheddar Bob, is here, and he did want the airport list, and that was provided. Chris, mate, hope you are doing well. Same to you, Zach, as well, actually, if you're still hanging around. G'day. Hope you're doing well. If you're not, still hope you're doing well. Garwin says good morning / evening. As usual, Garwin's here, and he's basically holding 2 middle fingers to those people who are currently in the afternoon. Garwin, how you going, mate? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing fantastically. William Kelly is here. He says the Gulf Coast is so flat, a 1,500-foot MSA. Yes, well, Florida in general is flat, but yes, you are 100% right, William. We are in the Just Some Aussie Gamer Club. It's very prestigious. The music is questionable at times, but we always try to keep a good vibe rolling on here. Wes says, hey Bricel, I'm not used to you streaming at night. Yeah, I know. I'm not used to me streaming at night either. It's going to be interesting to see how well I actually do. Whether or not, I feel like my brain works better for streaming at this time of the night, but the problem is I can never really stream at this time of the night because then my brain doesn't work in the morning when it actually has to at work. So it's a real interesting balancing act that I've got to try and perfect here. But I will perfect it sometime in 2022, maybe, possibly, hopefully. Or not. Yeah, you usually watch me with a coffee to wake up while at work, not to fall asleep to before work. Oh, and how's the Bombers look? Where's, that's a really personal attack there. I'm kidding. Look, I can't answer that question, Wes, because I'm not a Essendon Football Club player. I'm just a supporter. So, you'll have to, I don't know, call up Darcy or Dyson or something, get them on the blower and just have a, you know, good old chin wag to them, see what the fuck happened against Geelong, alright? If you could do that for me, that would be great. Then the bot is just dropping some information about our various locations of where we're going today, and we have Big Egg Jacko's Gaming who says, good day, Bryce, mate. Jacko, I would, either you've got a phenomenal stutter or you got the key stuck in the starter motor and it was just turning over continuously. Either one, mate, I'd get that looked at. Builder Night Minecraft, yeah, I recognised you by the profile picture, V. How you going, mate? Welcome to the stream, haven't seen you in a while. That's because usually I'm streaming now at like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning my time because I now have a job that I have to get to pay the bills, unfortunately. So, yeah. Garwin can't fly because he's leaving in about 30 minutes. As usual, Garwin just leaving me high and dry on the flying style of things. No, all good, Garwin, mate. I know that was a theme of things when I used to stream at these times of the night, is that you would always be on your way out to something. No hard feelings. You know, life happens. Wes says, sorry, I wasn't sure how you would take that one. Yes, Big Jacko does sound like an old car trying to start. How's Doggo? She is fantastic. She's still a complete and utter nutcase, and she's still annoying at times, but she's fantastic. She's currently in bed with Mum, I think, with her mum, my missus. Anyway, enough opportunities for me to just talk and blabber on and on and on and on, because I could probably do that for the next 20 minutes with the amount of gap that we've had between streams, and then we'd never get anything done, and we're going to end up finishing the stream still on the ground in Pensacola, and I'm pretty sure Calling Pigeon at that point will want to probably neck himself, because this is the second time that we've tried to do this. I'm going to get off the ground for him and me and the rest of you as well. Gowan says, on a good note, he got his microphone issue fixed. This is good news. What was the... Well, not so much what was the issue. How did you fix the issue? Because I know it was driving you up the wall. Seems every time I try to use a mic, it would default to the one on the VR headset, even if I had one plugged in. That just sounds like Microsoft Windows to me. Alright. Let's make this lawnmower propeller on the front of this thing move in ways that would provide forward flight. Get a bit of mixture. We'll move the armrest so that we can get a bit of that fuel. Although I don't know if I want to put fuel in the aircraft right now with the current fuel prices. I think I'd rather just strap a whole heap of solar panels or something and a whole heap of batteries and just create an electric aircraft or something, because this is going to be a very expensive flight, I must say. Alright. No, let's try again. Oh God, why are we moving? Right, the parking brake wasn't on. That's weird. Also, why is the fuel flow meter jumping around like it's done about 75 lines of coke? That was weird. That was really weird. Question time from V. If I was a pilot, which location you want to be flying most of the time? Ooh, that's a good question, V. Probably in New Zealand. New Zealand South Island would be a great place to have a private pilot's license, because you just always have new mountains and valleys and scenery and all that to explore. Yes, I am going to cut some grass. Wes, just dip the front of the plane into the whippersnipper style, you know? Actually, I could use that in the backyard right now, because my whippersnipper spat out all of its string whilst I was whippersnippering today. That was fun. Midway through, I'm like, why am I getting no more response? why is this not actually doing anything? Yeah. Smart man, aren't I? Oh my God, what? Really? Seriously, Garland, $11 a gallon for race fuel. Yeah, okay, it's, bring, I don't know, a mortgage possibly might be required, who knows. You have 10 litres of fuel for sale, name my price. I can name my price to you for your 10 litres of fuel. $1. Not $1 a litre, $1 for the 10 litres. You said name my price. It's significantly undervalued, but that's my price. Are you regretting that? Potentially, I would be. Now, I just want to make sure that I did in fact hit the right button there, and there we go, I didn't hit the right button. So I don't know what I may or may not have turned on then, because I hit 2 wrong buttons. So that's going to be interesting if we get up in the air and something significant happens. At least you're going to know why. Hello, can I change to GPS? There we go. Fantastic. Alright, now that I've been going on for 21 and a half minutes, maybe, just maybe, we should go in a forward direction and head on out of here. I should first though put the flight plan into little nav map. That would be a great place to start. That would also require my mouse to stop having a complete and utter fit, which it is proceeding to do, but I seem to be still able to use it, which is good, I guess. Alright, so we've got 3 knots of wind, which means it doesn't matter what runway we take off. Well, it does matter what runway we take off on because there's going to be an active, but you know what I mean. It's not going to be significantly detrimental to the flight of the aircraft depending on what runway we take off from. Yeah, exactly. You should have put a minimum price, Wes. I feel like you've probably paid like $25 for that 10 litres of fuel, and I'm paying $1. It's a saving of $24 on my behalf. You want a sale? There's a sale. It's basically 100% off. Yeah, I know, exactly, Garland. The guy standing in front of my plane's like, is this guy going to actually move, or are we just here having a fucking podcast on the ground? Because that's basically what it is at this point. Alright. And my fuel flow thing literally is acting like it's had 75 cups of coffee this morning. Okay, that was a interesting stutter. What is with the stutters? It's like my computer's like, oh, the sim? You want to run the sim? After 2 weeks you want to run the sim? Are you mad? Oh, you got fuel for free. So actually, even if I only pay $1, Wes, you're still making a profit on that fuel. I see how it is. That's capitalism at work. I don't actually know what runway I'm heading for here. I'm just going in a direction of a runway, but as I mentioned before, with the lack of wind, as you can see, the sock is very, very flaccid. There is absolutely... Somebody needs to give the windsock at this airport some Viagra, because that's embarrassing. Performance issues at Pensacola this morning. Performance issues. I'm hoping that we can at least get the plane up, even if the windsock can't get it up. So I'm gonna, even though I'm way past the line to stop and check this sort of shit, I'm gonna literally stop right there. Okay. Not sure that the brakes were actually working there. Yeah, so I'm definitely not going to be making a left turn onto the runway there. That would, well, you know, you'd get to see a Trinidad try and complete a short takeoff, landing takeoff. There's a mouthful of stall. I should have just said a stall takeoff, but anyway. It's cold out in Pensacola. It certainly must be. You've got gold-plated fuel that you're saving to buy a house. Gold-plated fuel. And get the feeling that a lot of engines are not going to be too impressed by the gold in the fuel, whereas they're not really designed to, you know, run on that. Yeah, Pensacola. It's alright, Garland. I knew what you were trying to get at. I just assumed you became Italian for a split second. Alright. I was going to go with the throttle, but I just realised that there's a few people still sitting on the ground, and that would be incredibly rude on my behalf. So there's Calling Pigeon in behind me. Now, Cheddar Bob, are you wanting us to wait for you here on the runway, mate, or are you thinking of a good old-fashioned game of catch-up? He's slewing. Look at that. What a gentleman he is. Slewing along, making his way out to the runway. Absolute legend. Big Jacko would be proud of you, Chris. Big Jacko would be proud. Alright, let's take 2. Get that fuel flow up into the green. There we go. Jeez, it really is bouncing around. I think the fuel flow is on a seesaw at this point, except he's had a big night. He's had a few too many beers and he's stuck on the seesaw. Alright, let's go. Let's go flying. There's a new catchphrase that most definitely hasn't been used before by any streamers. What do they say? Something is the highest form of flattery or whatever it is. Bloody when you imitate. Imitation is the high... That doesn't sound right. Imitation is the... Help! I can't put the English language together. Not that I've ever been able to before, but it's significantly bad right now. Alright. The gear is up, so that's good. It's an important thing that I'm good at forgetting on this particular plane. Alright, let's see if I hit that, and then that. There we go. Come on, give me some altitude, you prick. There we go. Yeah, we'll go up a little bit higher, even though it's very much Flatsville on this flight. I'm going to go to 5,000 feet just to maintain a better ground speed and fuel usage and all those things that matter. People only say that when they get caught plagiarizing someone. Yes. So was I correct? Is it imitation is the finest form of flattery or the best form of flattery or whatever? Am I on the right path? I mean, I'm not on the right path, but... imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Okay. So I was actually, well, I was slightly off the path. I was a few degrees off, I guess you could say that, if we're going to refer to it in aviation speak. I was a few degrees off. That's alright, because I don't have a degree anyway. Alright, there we go. Everything seems to be in order. Well, if my mouse will behave, There we go. So we have Cheddar Bob and we have Mr. Calling Pigeon as we make our way out of Pensacola on this fine... Well, it's not... Is it actually... It would be the morning here, wouldn't it? Although I don't think it's quite this far advanced into the morning. It's, basically, I'm God and I've played with the time and day and weather, I think, possibly. No, it is on live weather. It just is incredibly good for live weather for one of these streams, so I'm a little bit confused, that's all. Usually we've got some sort of thunderstorms forming in some general direction when we complete these World Adventure flights. So it's quite nice to not be battling our way through storms. Oh no. Jeez. I was like, okay, we're going to have a CTD already. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. Not at all. Now, I must ask Chris or Cheddar Bob or whatever you referred to, how much cheese are you carrying? And is it American? Is it English cheddar? Is it aged? If so, how long is it aged for? Do you have a mix on board? I mean, you're in the Kodiak, so I'm just assuming that you've got a good load of aged dairy on board. Are you going to Brownsville, Texas to check out SpaceX? Yes we are. When? I couldn't tell you the exact leg of the World Adventure that we'll be doing it in, but we will 100% be doing it, Darwin. I will more than happily message you over on Discord when I know that that particular flight is going to be coming up in the near future. I usually know a general idea of where we're going for the next... when I say a general idea, obviously I know where we're going for basically the whole journey, but a general, in the forefront of my mind idea of where we're going for the next, 4 or 5 legs usually, so yeah. Is it like you speak as if you may have already been there within the sim? Is it well depicted? Have they done a good job of it? Is it something that I might need to word up Mr. Pigeon on finding some third-party scenery, whether it's freeware or payware? So off to our left there we have Pedito Beach. Why am I telling you that? Because it's a city point of interest marker. What do I know about Pedito Beach? Absolutely nothing. I know it's a beach called Pedito that's just beyond Pensacola in Florida. I know. Mastermind. I don't know how I managed to just know these fantastic pieces of information off the top of my head. It's, yeah. Brett Plays says, a quick hello and like button press, mate. Brett, I appreciate that a lot. Also, if you are hanging around for any more than about 65 seconds, Brett, the plan is definitely currently being employed behind the scenes to get everything changed over to the new logos and stuff that you designed for me. It's just taking a lot of time because I don't have any time. So, yeah. But just rest assured that I am definitely working on making sure that we get all the logos and banners and all the stream slides, I guess you'd call them. The screens are slides. Revisiting in our Microsoft PowerPoint days. Yeah, definitely being worked on. Gowan says, been there both in real life and in game. The game does not have much of the building / rockets. So it is definitely worth trying to get some aftermarket scenery is basically what you're telling me. Fair enough. Can definitely achieve that. Yeah, I know we're still working and editing the background, Brett. As you can understand, I'm certainly in no rush because the more stuff that gets done and completed and sent on to me, it just means that there's more stuff sitting there not being utilized for, potentially weeks at a time. And that's part of the reason, that's the other thing I needed to bring up in the stream. So I'm going to be streaming today. I'm hoping to stream potentially Tuesday evening at some point, maybe slightly earlier than what I was today, and then potentially on Thursday. So I'm going to try and do a few streams this week, and that is simply because after that point, I'm my new menu that I've been writing is actually going to be at the stage of starting to prep and implementation and costing and tastings and all that. So for the next 2 weeks, the amount of streaming is probably going to go back to 0. Not that you guys are not used to that, because that's basically what it's been for most of 2022. But I thought I'd just give you a heads up anyway on that one. When I'm ready, you need my final input. What you doing on Thursday, Brett? Because I might be able to find an hour or two on Thursday, depending on how much menu costing I'm doing. You're off streaming this week except tomorrow morning, as you're going to build a race cockpit, like for Assetto Corsa, Forza, American Truck Sim, that sort of racing cockpit, or are we like referring to like Red Bull or Reno Air Racing style cockpit? So down below me to my rear left there is Resort. I know nothing about it other than it's potentially that's the last resort before we make it to, where are we going? Baton Rouge. God, I couldn't have said that with any more of an Australian accent if I tried. Oh, where you going, mate? I'm going to Baton Rouge. Fucking hell. Right now, all the people, I say that as if every single audience member right now is from Baton Rouge. But if anyone from Baton Rouge does see this, I apologise. You know, butchering your name like that. I know it can be triggering. Brett says, I already have a cockpit sim set up. I want to build a new center console and mouse pad bench. Center console. So we are talking driving sims here, with wheel and pedals and shifter and the whole kit. Gowan says, hey Brett, what would you charge to do a logo with two oh my god. The hiccups tonight are real. Problematic. What would you do with... I'll try that sentence for a third time. Hey Brett, what would you charge to do a logo with two long EZs flying around the globe? Brett says he uses two boxes next to his seat at the moment. Like to put your shifter and all that on. Is that what you're referring to, Brett? You'll be building and welding up a Flight Sim Cockpit 2 later on. Hell yeah. And once you're done with that, Brett, if you want, I'll pay for you to take a flight over here and you can make me one. Don't worry, I'll pay you. Brett can make it for Nix. I mean, I might be showing my young age here, but what the hell is Nix or NIX? Does that mean nothing? Oh, okay, so I have to put you on the Spirit of Tasmania. That's fine, I can do that, Brett. I mean, look, if William is still watching, I 100% agree. It's very Flatsville, but it's pretty good. For flat scenery, it's pretty good. I've seen worse. It means nothing, 3-0. Okay, fair enough. Well, there's another thing I can add to my vocab, and I've forgotten about it already. Alright, so what are we coming up on here? We are coming up on the Gulf Coast. I'm assuming. Because this, I believe that even though this might be the Gulf of Mexico, even though it's like inner heads. Is it inner heads? Who knows? They frown on bringing high-pressure gases on planes? Really, Carwin? But I mean, think about it like this. You bring a welder on an aircraft, something breaks mid-flight. I mean, they haven't invented the technology for that person to be able to go out and stand on the wing and sort out the issue. But, I mean, we could be about to make a technological breakthrough here just by putting Brett on a plane with a welder. I mean, you never know. Science, right? They frown on it on the boat too, so I would need to bring you over and purchase welding equipment. Sounds expensive. Zach enters the chat. I feel like we need to do the whole, you know, like with the whole TeamSpeak. User entered your channel. That was my attempt at TeamSpeak. I don't have a very robotic voice because it's connected to an actual human, and I don't currently have auto-tune installed. But Zach, hello, how you going, mate? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing fantastically. You would go for stick welding now? I didn't know you could weld with sticks. I'll just go grab some off a tree in my backyard. What, we rub them together really, really fast? I mean, welding is at like, what, 1500 degrees. I don't think I could rub two sticks together that quickly, Brett, honestly. And yes, it's a joke. It is what it is. That's exactly right, Zach. It is what it is. Arc welding. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense, Gowan. The fact that SpaceX went to stainless steel for the rocket. Yeah, if it breaks on Mars, you would be screwed, wouldn't you? Yeah. The Brett Lego collection, yes, but I don't think he's been uploading Lego collection. He's been uploading not Lego. At least that's what my phone's been telling me. I get a notification that says Brett Plays uploaded not Lego. I'm like, okay. So we're coming up on Mobile Downtown, which is, well, it's obviously a downtown area that you can pick up and move wherever you need it to be, which seems like a technological marvel, because honestly I didn't think that was even a thing, but there you go. Oh, actually, it turns out there is a place here called Mobile. Are we in Alabama? Oh, we're in Alabama. There's so many things I could say right now that would be incredibly inappropriate, but also hilarious. Yeah, you've been streaming Lego builds on Friday Arbos. That makes so much more sense, Brett, because I'm like, I could have sworn Brett was uploading not Lego, not Lego. Wow, there's a mouthful. That's what she said. Gowan said, I'm Mobile. Ah, it's Mobile. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Let's take something, name it the same, or spell it the same way as mobile, but then we're going to pronounce it differently just to really fuck with all of you. Yeah, sounds like the English language, honestly. Mobile sounds like the fuel company. And this is the Gulf of Mexico, so it wouldn't actually surprise me if they're literally sucking the oil out of the Gulf. I guess these are they're the streams, so because they're coming off the Gulf, they're the Gulf streams. Yeah, I did actually go there with that. Really apologise for that. The lower delta, hey? I don't know why I said that, because I have nothing to go on from the lower delta. I just figured I'd point that out in case the rest of you had just completely lost the ability to see your sim or the stream for 20 seconds. Just trying to figure out what the best viewpoint is here. I mean, all of it's pretty damn good because, of course, the US is so well done within the sim, but yeah. So our next port of call, so we are in fact in Alabama, then we're going to be going across into Mississippi. Our next port of call in Mississippi is Lost International, so there's a lot of international over there, obviously. Zach's Gaming Lab says the F1 2022 season has started, and I'm excited because my name's Big Kev. Only certain Australian people who are currently watching the stream will understand that reference. But yeah, I'm excited. Brett says, I'm off to bed early to watch F1 before my stream in the morning. Wow, you really are going to be getting up early because you're streaming at like 9 a.m. Hey, credit to you, mate. Like, shit, well done on being able to do that. I really struggle to do those morning streams at like 10 o'clock in the morning, let alone getting up and watching the F1 first. But have a good one, Brett. You look after yourself, mate. And I'm sure I will be in conversation with you relatively soon. Zach says he watches the live data streams since he can't afford it, but he's more of a data analyzer or a data analyzer, depending on what you're into, I guess, Zach. No clear front runner in the quals might be a good season. I mean, yep, I would love to see a good season of F1, but I also get the feeling, Garland, that it's just going to be the Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen show again. But please, I'd love to be proven wrong. I really would. So I don't know if we'll actually be able to see it from where I'm currently situated, but we may be able to. Off to the left somewhere, I think it's actually that white patch of land there is the Mobile International Speedway. There you go, Zach, another racetrack for you to look at from the air. The Mercs are a bit slow this season. That's a sentence I'm not sure has ever been spoken before, Zach. I don't know if it's actually an F1 track. It just says the Mobile International Speedway. I think it might just be, judging by the way it's shaped and all that, I believe it may just be like a NASCAR or like a drag strip or something. Nothing too whoop-de-doodah. I don't know. That was the first words that came to my brain. Don't judge me, alright? Or it might actually be that there. Well, they might be the same complex. And that's the track and that's the drag. I don't know. I'm just going based off what I can see on Google Maps. Mur has a lot of catching up to do. Yeah, that's it. To me, it's just crazy to hear that because, of course, Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes have dominated Formula One for so long that it almost became disinteresting because it was basically guaranteed that every season Lewis Hamilton would finish first spot and take home the championship, and he would usually finish in first spot in every race. So, if they've got a way to, alter that, or it looks like it's going to be altered by other teams making various progressions, etc. Great, fantastic. I think it's going to be really good for the sport to see people like Lewis Hamilton and all that not just be able to walk the competition. Alright, so we're about to cross the Mississippi-Alabama state line and be coming up on Lott International Airport. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to quickly go and refill that glass of water that you just saw me finish, and then I'll come back because I need to keep the fluids up because gym occurred a few hours ago, and if I don't, I'll get dehydrated, which is not fun. So back in a sec. We are back. So, Garland was saying that really is the nature of F1 as long as you've watched. There is always one driver team out in front for a while, then someone figures out something better and they go in front. Schumi, Vettel, yeah. Very true. Very true, Garland. I don't know. I know Schumacher was incredibly successful as well for a long period of time. I just didn't think it was as long as what Hamilton has been for. But maybe I'm wrong. Like, I'm not a die-hard F1 follower and follow every single race, etc. So. Alright, so coming into Lot, Mississippi. At least flying over Lot, Mississippi anyway. I'm just wondering, I don't think we can see the Mississippi River anywhere nearby, can we? Or is that it? Just because it's sipping through the land? Oh, I don't know. Oh, he's only tied it. Okay, fair enough. I guess that's probably gone because when Schumacher was, the be-all and end-all of Formula One, I was obviously quite young. So it's obviously not going to be in the forefront of my mind to the same degree that, hearing about Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen is. 3 F1 races in the US next year. So you're going to obviously have Daytona in Florida. Where else? So right now, 166 knots ground speed, 272 degree heading, 5,000 feet. We are making our way over to Baton Rouge. See how I'm being so careful now to not sound like a bogan with thongs and a singlet and super short shorts and a beer in my hand. Oh, they don't do F1 at Daytona? There you go. Goes to show how much of a F1 fan I actually am. Whoops. So they're doing it in Austin, Miami, and Las Vegas, hey? How did Austin manage to already have it over Miami and Las Vegas? That's incredible. Good old Texas. I'm having a look on Google Maps here in Little Nav Map. Whoop. Trying to see if I can find the Mississippi, but I'm not really having great success, I must say. I can find Mullet Lake, which it's either a lake full of fish or it's a lake full of Australian blokes with long hair at the back and short hair on the sides, all swimming around together. It's one of the two. They built a world-class track in Austin. Oh, fair enough. I guess that makes sense. I don't know, just when if somebody said to me that the F1 was going to Austin, I would have just automatically assumed that it would be Houston or Dallas, because they're just such big cities. So our next airport that we're going to be flying over, I don't know if it's an Air Force base, so I'll rephrase that. The next Air Force base we're flying over is Keesler, AFB, and then we're going to be heading over the Gulfport Biloxi International, which is in the city of, well, it says Mississippi City. So I believe it's because this is a triple city along the water here, if I'm not mistaken. Because you've got Gulfport, Mississippi City, and Biloxi all along the coast. So someone who knows more, please confirm, but I believe this is a 3-city. Austin has a lot of big tech companies there, so lots of dollars. Yeah, Austin has a lot of big tech companies because of the population is like super young or something, isn't it? It's like full of IT professionals. A bit like Toronto in Canada, I think, is similar. Someone also confirm or deny that one if they know more. The Mississippi runs right through Baton Rouge and New Orleans. Okay. So I shouldn't be looking for the Mississippi in Mississippi. I should be looking for the Mississippi in Louisiana. Makes sense? Not really, but I'm sure it made sense to somebody at some point who was plotting out the maps. So who am I to argue with them? This is a nice part of the world down here. You don't really, like, on this side of the world, you really don't hear that much about this part of the world. The southern part of the United States of America that's right on the Gulf of Mexico. You know, the only real stuff you hear about, obviously, is, Louisiana food, Texas, those sort of, you don't hear about the parts in between. But it looks really cool. Like, you got that, what's this? Like, this is a small sandbar island of some sort. Deer Island, I think. Oh dear. Has it got any deer on it? I mean, it's probably a weird question, but I guess there's got to be a reason as to why it was called Deer Island. Although it could just be also because it eloped from the rest of the mainland US. So they thought it was antelope. Yeah, wow, okay, that's really clutching at straws. I feel like I need to go to the kitchen and just get a bunch of straws and just use it as a stress ball at this point. It's the Pearl River that separates the two states, not the Mississippi. You see? Now, here's a question for you, Gowan. Does the Pearl River actually have pearls in it? Or is it just another... Oh, that name sounds good. Let's go with that. Speaking of which, Calling Pigeon, I'm going to send you a message in Discord at the end of the stream. I just need a little bit of feedback from you on something that has been playing on my mind. And seeing as you are so good at providing advice and suggestions and all that, I figure I'll go straight for you. Also, speaking of which, at the end of this stream, those who are interested, Sky Blue Radio with Willie Canuck tonight, Big Jacko's Gaming, he's going to be on there, and he's going to be having an interview with good old Willie, and with those two speaking together, who knows what might occur. So feel free to jump in the Sky Blue Radio Discord as well. We throw all sorts of freaking hilarious shit in there, and inappropriate shit and all that you can just laugh at whilst we listen to Dave have a chat with Willie. The Mississippi separates the states farther up. I see. Well, I don't see, but you know what I mean. Alright, so let's have a look at... Ah, yeah, okay, I see. So, geez, the border between Mississippi and Louisiana is very, very, very windy at the place that we're crossing it. Fair enough. Now, the John C. Stennis Space Center. Is that something that we should be making a slight detour off of the flight plan to have a look at? Or... the John C. Stennis Space Center. It's on the border of Mississippi and Louisiana. Going? Oh, no idea? Okay. What I'll do is, as we get close, because it's not very far of a detour off of from where we're actually flying, so I'll just have a look over to the right, and if I can see anything cool, I'll just take control, otherwise we'll just keep on going. Now, what the hell am I flying over right now? Because it looks like an industrial housing zone, because it's like half houses and half industrial area. That's... Let's see what happens if I zoom in on whoops. It is the Naval Construction Training Center. Okay, so that makes more sense. It's a Navy area, so of course there's housing and there's sheds and stuff. That makes perfect sense. Righto. When in doubt, look at the maps. I just realised I'm miles ahead of calling Pigeon and Cheddar Bob. I might actually make a stop at the next airport that we're coming up on, which is going to be New Orleans, actually. That is the next airport we fly over. Well, I could stop in at Stennis International on the border. Jesus. Anybody would think that I didn't used to do this until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning with the amount that I'm yawning already, and it's only just gone 11 p.m. Also, that reminds me, 2 seconds, I want to just ask a question. I must say there's some very, very interesting little ranch fields spotted along the coast as we come along here. You've got Turkey Bayou Air Park and the Rocking T Ranch. You've got Pelican. I swear people legitimately buy a place that's got a ranch, you know, and it's got the ability to put a small grass strip, and they just go, oh, what random shit can we name this? Wouldn't it be hilarious if we named our airport the Turkey Bayou Air Park? And then it gets approved. That's one hell of a bridge. I want to come to this part of the world just to drive that piece of road. From there. That's cool. That's really cool. I'm sure the people who live in this part of the world are just like, it's just a bridge. I guess if, you know, if that, being the Gulf of Mexico, that is technically troubled water, so we've got a bridge over troubled water. Isn't that pretty sure that's lyrics to a song. Garwin says, I have driven several roads that I have found flying in the game. So when you say flying in the game, do you mean that you have discovered these roads that you have driven whilst flying, or these roads you have driven are flying? Because many questions to ask if it's the second one. No, there's a grasshopper in my room. Fair enough. There you go, mate. Decided. Got another viewer for the stream. I wonder if I can convince him to become a Patreon or something. Hey mate, you got 2 seconds of time that I can use to pitch my channel to you? No? Not interested? No. Well, that's alright. Anyway, back to reality. Oh, you saw them while flying in the game. Ooh, Garwin, careful, don't swear like that. Then got in my car and went and drove them. Must be nice. No, that's cool though, man. I should do something similar, especially in my general area. I should just grab like the Cessna 152, take off from the local, fly around at a slightly higher altitude, and just try and pick out some nice roads or nice locations or whatever that I can go and explore in real life. Use Microsoft Flight Simulator as my own personal drone system to make discoveries of areas to enjoy. Alright, so we're almost up on the Mississippi-Louisiana border. Calling Pigeon and Chris have cooked up. There's the Rocking T Ranch. Actually, where's the Turkey Bayou Air Park? Ah, there it is. Turkey Bayou Air Park. That's not a ranch, though. I don't think that's like a legitimate strip. It's a turkey strip. Not a chicken strip. What do you do if you see a turkey strip? Do you gobble gobble, or... You got got the car out 2 days ago for the first time this season, and then it's back in the garage for another couple of weeks. When you say the car, Garwin, are you referring to the team race car or the MX-5? A lot of the ranch names come from the description of the brand. Oh, so you mean like with like all these like with the Rocking T Ranch, which quite clearly is a ranch. It's got it in the name. That one there. They would produce what with a name like that? Rocks? T? Oh, you got the MX-5 out. Lays E is a slanted E. Bar S is an S with a bar across it. Brand is a branding iron. What? I'm so confused now. I mean, it doesn't take much going, but... Off to the right-hand side. Oh, the first... here's the first sign that we're crossing into Louisiana. So we have the Cajun Encounters Tour Company. That's how you know. Look up branding iron. Well, it's a iron that you heat up to stick a brand on something, yeah? And then you've got the Big Branch Marsh National Wildlife Park. Fair enough. I mean, I think they wanted people to know that that was a big wildlife park or a marsh. What is a bayou? Because I've got another bayou coming up, the Fisherman's Castle at Irish Bayou and the Bayou Sauvage National Wildlife Park. Is it something French? How the brand looked. Okay. I see what you're saying now, Garwin. Oh, it's a bayou, is it? So even though it's bayou, it's a bayou. Of course it is. It's the English language. Who am I to question that? I swear when they made the English language, they were either drunk or stoned out of their minds. And they're just like, what if we put an A in a word and then make them say it as an I? But we don't tell anyone until they get it wrong. And we make fun of them. I don't know, that's just my imagination of how they came up with the English language. Like, literally, that's what it feels like half the time. It's a type of swamp. Okay. You know, like the people who sort of said, hey, the word knife, let's put the letter K on the front of it, but then we won't pronounce it. Same with no as well. You know, let's put the letter K on the front, and then we won't pronounce it. And we wonder why English is considered one of the hardest languages for people to learn if they're not English first language. Especially seeing as I can't remember the words exactly, but I know there's a few words in the English language that literally, depending on the tone that you say it in, it means like 3 or 4 different things. Imagine trying to explain that to someone who doesn't speak English, that this one word, you change the way you say it ever so slightly and it means something completely different. Gowan says, my middle name is Joseph. How the hell did PH mean F? There you go. That's how. Somebody exhaled deeply and they went, haha, we'll fuck with them a little bit more and we'll put some PH where there's meant to be an F. Because you sounded pissed off by that and it sounded cool. Alright, so we are 12.9 nautical miles from New Orleans, the lakefront airport at New Orleans. Going to hopefully get a good top-down view as we go over New Orleans here. Now, we will be coming back into New Orleans on the way back across in the opposite direction as we head up, slowly make our way crisscrossing across the US. As opposed to crisscrossing not across the US. And I'm hoping to actually include New Orleans in a cooking on the fly, which actually brings me to another, I don't know how I'm going to find the time to complete a cooking on the fly. Because it requires almost 2 weeks of pre-planning and pre-setting and you know, recipe writing and all that to then produce it. I honestly don't know how I'm going to find the time to do it. I really don't. Garland says, do you have concrete roads down in Australia that go thump 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 when you drive over them? Now, I'm assuming that you don't mean asphalt, you mean actual legitimate concrete. We have little speed humpy things before major intersections that don't have traffic lights in more regional areas, so that it goes thump 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 to remind you to slow down for the intersection. But I'm not aware of concrete roads as such. Wow, New Orleans looks great. I mean, it's flat, but it looks great. And it's just, it's so cool for, you know, a chef to see New Orleans, because it's just such a food-centric part of the world, with its amazing Cajun spices and, you know, fried chicken and jambalayas and all those, you know, delicious things that have come from this part of the world. Driving in the entire state of LA, that is all you hear. Thump, thump, thump from the concrete seams will drive you bonkers. Really? That seems incredibly inefficient way of building roads to have concrete seams. Some of New Orleans is below sea level, then they wonder why it floods. Yeah. Well, I'm sure they don't actually legitimately wonder why it floods, Garland. I'm sure they actually know, but unless there's some people who are just sort of like, I don't know why it floods. So we're going to be heading straight across the city of New Orleans here as well as we head on to Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport. Funny that so much of the world gets jambalaya wrong. Oh, absolutely, it probably does, Darwin. I wouldn't be against saying that about the only places in the world that probably, or the only place in the world that does get jambalaya right is probably the, state of Louisiana. Yeah, jambalaya. Yeah, I know, some people call it jambalaya. And it's just sort of like, that sounds like it should be produced in the rainforests of Brazil or the Amazon jungle. It's just got that, tribal sort of feeling to it. But no, jambalaya. As in preserve, as in strawberry jambalaya. Not that that's the thing. Oh, actually, I wonder if that would work. Could you put strawberries in your jambalaya? I wonder if there's a way that you could make that. Alright, that's something for me to test with all my spare time. Jam everything you have left over in it. Yeah, so I'm going to put strawberry jam in it and let's see what happens. Let's see what sort of result I can get. I should make a jambalaya for dinner one night for myself and the other half. Something relatively healthy, it's stewy, it's delicious, and I can trial it with strawberry jam and let you all know how that goes. Your aunt and cousin live down here. Oh, Garland, if I ever... there's definitely, as you guys know, there's definitely places in Florida that I'd want to go to if I ever came to the US. But I would need to come to New Orleans, or at least Louisiana, just to have some proper southern Louisianan food. I want some Cajun, and I want jambalaya, and I want, all the wonderful seafood dishes that come from this part of the world as well. Cousin lives in New Orleans, aunt lives in New Iberia. I didn't even know there was a New Iberia. Also, what is Louisiana's obsession with new? Is it because every time the damn place floods, they basically have to rebuild it from scratch, so therefore it's just continuously being renovated and revamped, and therefore it's considered new? That's all of the US? New York? Oh yeah, right. Didn't think that one through, did I? Time for a sip of the Australia's finest tap water from my gin glass, because it's a nice glass. New York, New London, New England. Yeah, okay. The settlers named it after where they were from. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I guess it's the same thing down here in Australia. Going, because you've got New South Wales as a state. Yeah, the northeast US is called New England. So in New South Wales, we have a government electorate that is called New England. Is it the New England? Not really, it's a country bumpkin part of the world, but That really is a flat city, isn't it? Can definitely see why they have issues with flooding. Or is that also why they've got so many little canals running all throughout the city to try and help reduce the flooding? By giving water places to run off from? Because, I mean, that's a smart idea, isn't it? I mean, I know the sea level rises potentially a little bit and all that when you get flooding, I get that. But depending on how much rain they've had, obviously, I mean, a significant amount of rain would need to occur for the sea level to actually have an effect on the land, but you know what I'm saying. People like to live on water, higher home values. I get that, but the fact that they've got all these little straight canals running across and around and through, I don't know, I just thought it was maybe a way for them to help try and counteract when it does flood, to provide that water a way to more easily empty itself back out into the Gulf. That's all. The lines are for boats. Ah. Okay, well, here I was thinking that I was witnessing smart engineering and stuff like that occurring right in front of my face, although I don't know the actual exact ins and outs of how that would work, even if it was a thing. But yeah. Never mind. Highways for boats. Highway to the danger zone. Highways for boats to get through the swamp. Yeah, it is a little bit swampy, isn't it? I would hate to be you if I was in a boat. I'm on a boat, man. It's going fast and... yeah. I mean, that's all I've got from that song. So... If you were hoping for a bit more of a performance, it's not occurring. Sorry. So there's ranches along here. I thought ranches were meant to be a little bit more remote. Is there really, like I can see St. John the Baptist Parish is listed as an airport. Is there actually legitimately churches and parishes and all that within the US that have airstrips or airfields at them? Local term for poor people who live in the swamps is kunas. Kunas? So I guess that's a once-off then going to have a little airstrip, airfield, grass strip, whatever it would be at a church. Must be like a major parish or something. I don't know, I just get as you've said, I get the feeling that it's a little bit OTT to have a bloody airport at your church. I mean, hey, you know, it makes commuting to and from church easy, especially if you're one of those people who has who lives in one of those estates that's houses and permits people to own aircraft and has its like own little airport as well. Nothing would surprise you. Yes, well, there is that as well. And so take this in the best possible way that you can, but this is America after all, and basically, I swear, half of the time that churches and stuff can basically do whatever they want. Louisiana does not have counties, they are called parishes. Okay. So I mean, St. John the Baptist Parish legitimately to me sounds like a church. However, there might be a region in Louisiana called St. John the Baptist. It's a Bible area. Okay, that makes more sense. So it's probably, I'm assuming probably still does have a church connected because there seems to be a massive building located just off of the airport runway. But, and this is all the swamp and marshland, yeah? Through here, this is where people use their those cool Louisiana-style boats with the massive fan on the back, the hovercrafts or whatever. Except I don't think they're actual hovercrafts. I think they're usually home-built. Yeah, so right next to that Baptist Church Airport is the town of Prairieville, so that makes sense. Airboats, yeah, airboats. So that's all through here, yeah, through these little strips of water that make their way through the marshland, except they're a lot more clogged usually with lilies and all that. I find it incredibly awesome that you can set off in New Orleans and just sort of make your way through these little tributaries all the way up to, well, according to what I can see in Google Maps, you can literally make your way all the way up to Baton Rouge through these strips of water, which is, well, you may as well call this the America's version of Venice. Or if we want to be, you know, properly Italian. This is America's version of Venezia. Go all the way to the Great Lakes on an airboat. That sounds cool. I'm sure there's probably issues with gators and crocs though, yeah? That's something I definitely, if I ever get the chance to go to Louisiana, that's something I'd definitely love to do, is obviously, other than try the food, would be to just jump in an airboat and go for a ride through some of these various canals. Like, it looks cool as. Got all these little areas that you can explore and good crawfish. Yeah, yum. I like myself a bit of nice. That'd be awesome. Better tell the missus that when we go to the UK that we're going to be coming back through the US. Looks like we've had a few more people join in as well, because we've now got, there we go, we've got Mr. Dangerbird, Dale, g'day mate, welcome to the stream. I don't know, is Doppler effect with us? So, when you say the flight going, like I know you can do a flight in a boat, in those airboats, but would you recommend flying over one in an aircraft and then doing the other one on the boat so that you can sort of see what they look like from both the air and on the ground? Because you can do it in the Everglades as well, as you said, in Florida. You've only done it in Florida? Fair enough. Ah, Capozzoli. I thought, I could have sworn that Louisiana had a sort of French influence. But then you have Capozzoli, which is like is it sort of more of a, I don't know. Because then you go straight to, next up is Baton Rouge, which is back to the very French side of things. So probably just means that a lot of French settled here back in the early days, and then maybe they obviously had a Italian settlement, which is the Capozzoli. The Everglades are amazing from the air as well. So the best way to see the Everglades from the air, Garland, would be to take a flight from Miami to, like, New Orleans? Because, damn, I'd be down to, Pawnee, not really. That actually didn't really reference that in any way, shape or form. Never mind. Just seeing, having, English is really not my strong point tonight. Not that it ever really was, but it's especially bad this evening. Just looking on a little nav map to see if there's any other cool bits and pieces that might be able to see on our way into Baton Rouge. Just looks like the usual city-related stuff. Just grab a scenic flight. Oh, you can do scenic flights over the Everglades, eh? See. Which one are you less likely to die from by being eaten by a gator? Because I'll fly over the one that you're more likely to get eaten. So it looks as if the active runways here at Baton Rouge are 4 left and 4 right, or 04 left and 04 right, because we've got an 11 knot headwind straight down those runways. But at least from what I'm seeing, it appears Calling Pigeon is going to go with the tailwind with the ILS here. This is the US, there are scenic flights everywhere. Well, I mean, I can sort of understand why, Garland, because it really, really is very, very pretty to look at from the air. Whether it's flat, whether it's bushland, whether it's city, every single flight I've found myself, that we've done in the US so far, I've found myself like even midstream just sort of staring and then remembering, oh shit, you're streaming, dickhead. Focus on what you're doing. Alright, so very, very soon, once we cross below that 10 nautical mile marker, I will take manual control of the aircraft because we are going to have to make a left turn. We're going to have to do some NASCAR flying to line ourselves up here with the runway here at Baton Rouge. This is the second busiest or the second biggest city here in Louisiana, and you can sort of tell because like when we were coming in over New Orleans, you could definitely tell that that was the city. It had city buildings, it had a CBD, it had all sorts of, you could just tell that this is sort of a city with the various things that you require to have a city, but there's no big tall buildings and CBDs and massive business centres and all that stuff that is usually referred to when you think of a city. At least I can't see any. Maybe they just haven't popped in yet. That's the other potential thing. Airline terrace. What is airline terrace? Oh yeah, there does appear to be a few taller buildings here along the Mississippi River. Okay. So we're going to fly over and a little bit down the Mississippi River when we leave Baton Rouge for Galveston in the next leg. Rudin the Great says, damn it. If you give me enough bricks and enough equipment, I will damn anything that you want me to. Rudin, what's up? Are you annoyed at the fact that you missed the stream? Gruden, you're more than welcome to join, mate. Just be aware of the fact that I am literally lining up for the runway for the final airport. Yeah, sorry mate. However, I am going to try and get another stream done at some point this week because then I'm going to be very, very busy with work putting out my new menu that I've been speaking about / writing for a few weeks now. It's now basically 99% finalised and ready to start putting things into practice and doing tastings and mock platings and checking this and checking that and all that sort of shit. So that's going to take up a significant amount of time for the next 2 weeks to a month, and then I should be able to get back to streaming at least 1 to 2 times a week from there on out. Yeah, all good, Dale. I fully understand. Like, as you guys would know, in recent times I don't usually stream at this time anyway. It was just the way that my day sort of worked. I desperately wanted to stream after the debacle that we had last week where my sim just decided it didn't want to play ball. So I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to stream at night. In my time. Your autopilot decided to work yesterday with Sim Fanatic and it was a pleasure. I wanted to do this one. That's alright. Look, Rudin, it's all good. I promise you, the streaming is not being given up on. It's just obviously being significantly reduced due to the fact that I need to pay bills. And whilst you guys were amazing during COVID in enabling me to pay those bills, I'm not enough of an arsehole to rely on you to pay my wages by me streaming with only, 294 subs. That's called over expectations on my behalf. Oh, we certainly will. I was saying before that I don't even know how I'm going to do a cooking on the fly anymore. Just because, as you guys know, it's a good week or two of me researching, writing, testing, playing, photographing, videoing, the pre-cook, etc. And then all the setup and actually doing it. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it. Which really sucks because I've been itching to do a cooking on the fly. And I haven't done one this year. And we're almost in April. God, I'm coming in way too high and way too fast here. You can tell it's been a couple of weeks since I've done any real flying within the sim. Like, I've done a bit of muck around flying, but nothing proper. And you can tell, because that was very, very bad, and I can't even like blame it on bad weather or anything this time. It's just worked up. Oh god, I'm going to use the whole bloody runway here to get a Trinidad down. Well, at least the touchdown was good. Gowan says, when you get to the northeast US, I will get you a menu that is local, that is crazy simple and easy to fix. Yeah, that'll be awesome, Gowan. That'll be really awesome. Don't worry, I will figure out a way to make cooking on the fly work within my schedule. I just may not be able to do 3 dishes and a beverage like I was. I may have to bring it back to 2 dishes and a beverage, or a dish and a beverage, or just 2 dishes, or, something like that. It certainly was, Rudin, it certainly was. So I don't think I'm going to be back to streaming at this time, so I apologise for that, Rudin, because I'm pretty sure it works good for you, mate. As I said, it was just sort of a once-off of I had the time, everything sort of, all the plans aligned, etc. So here I am. But I'll probably be back to streaming at sort of, you know, between 9 and 11 a.m. my time when I do stream. Jacko did a good job of taking up my slack. He did. He certainly did, Rudin. He's almost got as many subscribers as I do already, so he clearly knows what he's doing. He's only been doing it since January? Did he start in January? I'm pretty sure he started in January. Or late last year, December. Was one of those. But yeah, he's done a phenomenal job to get where he is in such a quick period of time. And I'm glad that I sort of pulled him aside and said, Dave, you really need to start streaming. Because it's been great. Alright, well, as Dangerbird comes in the MiG. Very nice, Dale, very nice. That's alright, Garland. Next time, mate, next time. It'll be more I know the word I want to say, but the mouth doesn't want to produce it, so I'm going to pick a different word. I know that my other times are a bit more friendly to you flying. December, yeah, I think it was December. Going mid-December. I remember that I still hadn't started working full-time when I convinced him to start streaming. You have to recommend the F-35. Great plane. I've heard nothing but good things about it, Vruden. That's absolutely 100% the case. But, hang on, my mouse is being a prick again. There we go. We good. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, Legends of the High Scrub, that does bring us to the end of leg 120 here in the World Adventure. I'd like to say a massive shout out again to the 6 Patreons who are continuously providing that extra support to the channel, and they will obviously get a severe reduction in their fees at the renewal in April, and those people are Chris Konecki, Drew Demarinis, Big Jacko's Gaming, Clawing Pigeon, Josh Manchester, and Gowan Grimm. Guys, I really do appreciate you guys sticking around, especially seeing as most of you are still top tier members despite having received nothing for your amazing contributions to the channel. So I cannot thank you enough for that. Vruden says, good flight, see you tomorrow. I feel like Vruden's trying to pressure me into getting a stream in tomorrow. Vruden, I'd love to, but I physically don't think I have the time available to me to put a stream in on top of everything else that I'm doing tomorrow. But if I do have the time, rest assured there will certainly be one. Otherwise, there will most definitely be one at some point later this week. 100% there will be one. I don't know what it'll be. I don't know where it'll be to. I don't know which series it'll be. I don't know how long it'll be. But there will definitely be one before the week is out. Yeah, no, look, Gowan, I know you do, but from my perspective, I am not okay with people paying $7 Australian dollars a month with a whole heap list of things that they were going to receive, and me having not have been able to provide any of that in basically 4 months. I'm not okay with continuing to charge that sort of money. Morally, it's just not okay in my brain. So I would rather have you guys pay less, still support the channel, and then there's less pressure on me to provide Patreon only streams and content and all that, and more on the whole, these people are amazing for their extra support behind the scenes, if that makes sense. You pay 10 times that for munchies? Your answer. Oh, Vrudin as well. I'm laughing at you. You get so few chances to give me a hard time and you missed today. Yeah, inflation. Exactly, Vrudin. Inflation. Alright, but as I was saying, guys, I really, really appreciate those of you who did come along, those who have been watching. Obviously, people have been dropping into the stream throughout and dropping in likes, because we've got nearly 20 likes, which is mind-blowing, considering that we've only sort of had a steady stream of sort of 7 to 8 people for the whole stream, which I expected with the fact that Jacko is going to be going live soon with Willie and the fact that Shane was streaming tonight. But guys, as I said, that does bring us to the end of leg 120 and to Baton Rouge here in Louisiana in the United States of America. So the next World Adventure leg that we will be doing will be from here to Galveston in Texas. Again, I don't know 100% when that is, but I'm hoping that I'm going to have enough time as the week progresses to do a proper length stream, like another 2.5 hour stream. And that should enable us to complete that leg. But guys, I do hope you did enjoy the flight as much as I did. Some fantastic scenery we flew over. I'm really, really impressed with how New Orleans looks from the air and has just, increased the amount that I would like to travel to that part of the world. But ladies and gentlemen, until the next stream, wherever you are in the world, you look after yourselves, stay safe, stay well, don't do anything that I wouldn't do, and I'll catch all of you legends very soon. Cheers.